welcome back to Doodling with Purpose, your step-by-step job, guide, course, intelligence, well, way to learn hieroglyphics from home. Hey, with not even a textbook. All you need is a computer with YouTube. How cool is that? And now you can have inside jokes too that no one except ancient Egyptians and your fellow students can laugh at. Hey, that's why we all do this, right? All right. Well, time for review. Let's take a look at the glyphs that we learned last week, because if you're not reviewing them, well, it's going to be harder and harder to learn them because we're going to learn more and more of them as time goes by. All right, so the first one we're going to review is the Dijad column, which is line at the bottom and then 3 lines across. Not too bad. All right, next up, we're going to have the basket of fruit, diagonal lines down, second line across, a little E for a flourish, and then 4 oranges or apples at the top. And then finally, we're going to do the sand dune. Pretty easy, loop in and back out. And there's your sand dune. All right, well, today I promised, I threatened, I warned we'd get to more birds. And this is the Ibis, which is actually one of the most common sort of in pop culture hieroglyphs out there, especially because Thoth, who is the god of writing and the one who supposedly invented hieroglyphs, is an ibis-headed god. So this is what the ibis looks like in hieroglyph when written on a wall or a piece of stone. There's a couple different ways. I mean, there's sometimes flourishes on the top with more feathers, but we're just going to go over the basic one. And again, once you've kind of learned how to do the basic bird, it's just a different version. This is going to be pronounced GM, gum, or gam, GM. All right, the ibis. So we do our skybird and then loop around for the body. Then we do a long neck, head, legs down, something to stand on, and some wing detail. And that's your ibis. One more time. Skybird, body up, long neck down, head, eye, leg down, something to stand on, and wing detail. One more time. Start with a skybird, come around for the body, long neck down, head detail, legs, something to stand on, and wing. And that's your ibis. All right, next up, papyrus. Obviously very important to hieroglyphs because papyrus is, other than rock, what most hieroglyphs were written on was crushed papyrus leaves. This is what papyrus looks like in its natural state when it's growing in the Nile. And you'll see this written in hieroglyph both as a letter, which we're about to do, but also as decoration. You'll see it quite often done in scenes. This is what it looks like as a written letter with the 3 stalks and the flowering sort of top bud coming off the top, as well as the pointy base with a little Bart Simpson there. I'll show you what I mean by that. And yeah, to continue the Bart Simpson joke, it is H-A, ha, is how it's pronounced. Ha. Not ha-ha, but just ha. All right, here's what I mean by Bart. 1, 2, 3. There's your Bart Simpson. All right, 3 stalks. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to draw 3 triangles at the top. 1, 2, and 3. All right, now there is some detail you can do inside of the flower, which again is your Bart Simpson here. So Bart Simpson up, down, up, down, up, down. There's your Bart Simpson. And then 3 lines. 1, 2, 3. So that's the detail inside of the flower at the top, if you wanted to do it. One more time. Bart Simpson, up, down, up, down, up, down. 3 lines. 1, 2, 3 into the top part, the mountainous part. All right, so once again, here is how to draw the full glyph. There's your base, 3 stalks going up, 3 triangles at the top, 1, 2, 3, and then if you want, you can do the details inside like I demonstrated below with a little Bart Simpson and 3 lines. And that is the detail version. Not everyone is going to do the details. All right, last up, we have an Egyptian club. Is going to be our last glyph of the day, and I'm not talking about a dance club. I'm talking about an actual physical object, the Egyptian club that they would sometimes carry and beat people up with, right? Well, maybe some slaves or people who weren't behaving. I don't endorse beating people up with clubs, but it's good to have reference for what we're drawing, right? All right, so this is the HD sound, hood, is how it's pronounced. So HD, kind of like, like HD sound, high definition. That's sort of a good way to think of it since it's a sound. So it's HD. The club's pretty easy. Straight down, half circle on each side, continue down into a triangle base. Down, half circle on each side, straight down, and a triangle base. One more time. Down, half circle on each side, straight down, and a triangle base. And that is your hood club. Practice, guys. Practice, practice, practice. Like any other instrument or language, that's what it takes. But what's great is, yes, this is doodling with purpose. You can sit there in any meeting and just doodle away and you're practicing. Next week, we are going to get to exciting glyphs like more plants, right? Because we haven't drawn enough plants yet. We're going to get to more clubs. That's right. Egyptians definitely like to beat each other up. They didn't just have one club. They had lots of different types of clubs. And they tend to show up in hieroglyphics quite a lot. And finally, after the clubs and the water, we're just going to get to a plain old bottle or bowl of water. But, water was very sacred to the Egyptians and very important. The whole Nile, keeping them alive and everything. All right, keep building. You're building away. You are building your skills at learning hieroglyphics, and we're going to keep pressing forward. Thanks for watching. Leave your comments. I'll be sure to answer them if you have any questions, and I'll see you next week.